Matt McQuaid probably going to be a really successful kid.
Mm-hmm.
This will everything that Izzo has instilled in him, this, fighting against adversity, it'll be great for him down the line. But for 3 years, he looked like a kid that was literally had zero confidence.
Hey, listen, I've talked to management here. That's their plan for you. They think by 2027 that everything, all the coaching and tutelage, the beating down, is going to work brilliant.
Don't bait me into something here.
Let's go to Ken in Bloomfield on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Ken.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, buddy.
Hey, I'm looking at this in a different way. I really think he panicked. I watched a ton of Michigan State. I watched a ton of Izzo. And he does yell. And he came on fluid. And I think he was thinking, if we lose this game, after all the praise I've received after the Big Ten championship, and the committee putting us in this bracket, and if we go out on the first day, I might end up losing my job. And
No.
Dude, he might, think about it, 3 years in a row, not making it out.
Oh, Ken, I think he feels the pressure. He's not going to lose his job. He'll never get fired at Michigan State. But, I agree with you. He felt that he needed to win that game. And I can see some of that coming out. Absolutely.
Okay. If I can find the picture, I will look for it. But, I remember when Bryn Forbes was playing for Michigan State, it's probably 4 years ago. I was watching a game, and it was in December. And I want to say it was against, it was the game they lost maybe against Texas Southern when Mike Davis was the coach down there. And it was on the Big Ten Network. And Izzo got into Bryn Forbes' face. And I paused my TV, and he looked like the Heat miser from A Year Without Santa Claus. I mean, it was this look. I mean, it almost looked like a caricature. He looked like he was going to swallow him whole. That was against Texas Southern in December. So to say that yesterday's episode reflected some sort of panic on Izzo's part because he had to win the game, I think that's disingenuous. I think that was...
I think a small portion of that came out, though.
Okay.
I do.
The NCAA tournament portion of it, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't think it had to do with Middle Tennessee State. I don't think it had to do with Syracuse. I don't think it had to do with losing to Kansas a couple years ago. I think it was maybe the NCAA tournament, yeah.
I think it was just the crying that Henry...
Get back on defense.
Yeah, I just think I can see Tom Izzo, maybe that might be the number one thing that would grind him. It's absolutely unacceptable not to get back on defense.
Right.
Yeah, but to get to the point where you have to have your senior leaders and your players grabbing you and intervening and all that. I mean,
He was going to hit.
See, no, I never said that, and I never bought that or believed that for a second. But it's still not. You preach discipline, you preach doing it the right way, and then you blow a gasket and you lose control of yourself. Well, what are the players supposed to do? How are the players supposed to follow? Is it okay for them to lose their temper and go nuts?
If Izzo was truly out of control, he would have fought back against the restraints of the players. He allowed them to restrain.
Totally agree. Either way, it's not. The optics of it are not good. I don't think it's a good example.
Let's go to Keith in Roseville on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Keith.
How you guys doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good. I'm with Izzo. I mean, it's just not Little League. You signed.
Pat Delmore breathed a sigh of relief when he heard the results. That's because UPass fees help fund transit service in the city, and students have increased their ridership.
Well, it's certainly been a nervous couple days sitting back. Media now I feel very pleased with it.
Starting route to 23619 Calavine Street. In 2 miles, turn right onto Hiller Road.
building. We'd like to be exactly where our citizens in the city of Worcester are. Can we get there? I don't know. We have a diversity officer who's in the trenches every day, meeting with our community partners, going to St. Clair College, going to the University of Windsor. Our VIP program's been very successful, although it's grade 6. They get some thinking about it.
The last time Windsor Police did an internal census was in 2012. A new report says too many illegal strip searches are being done in this province. The Office of the Independent Police Review released its findings in a document called Breaking the Golden Rule. For regulations for conducting strip searches and more intensive training.
Guarantee you that Draymond Green ain't calling Tom Izzo today to tell him he overstepped. He might call him today to say, good job, coach.
Draymond Green might call Aaron Henry, honestly.
Yeah,
and talk to him, just, hey, you know, we've all been through it, blah, blah, blah. You know, take this, you know, use it the rest of the way. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
7:32. Heather's got news when we come back. Jamie and Stoney with Bogey in for
In
Stoney.
1 mile,
97.1 The
turn
Ticket.
right onto Hitler Road.
Rollbacks are lowering prices on hundreds of products at Walmart. Smartphones, high-performance cookware, the Graco stroller and car seat travel system, just to name a few. Shop rollbacks at Walmart or Walmart.com and get those sweet, sweet savings in your shopping cart. Walmart. Save money. Live better.
So you're upgrading a house. You have incredible plans for the master bath. You're designing a stunning open-concept kitchen, just like that home show you love. And for the backyard deck, you're creating something square. Look, imagination shouldn't end at the back door. Ditch the pine box and create something truly inspired with TimberTech. The design versatility and technological superiority needed to vastly improve your home improvement. So whether you're designing it or building it, we can upgrade it. Imagine the possibilities at TimberTech.com. Go against the grain.
Here's a deal from Sprint that you won't want to miss. Right now, when you switch to Sprint, we'll give you $50 on a prepaid MasterCard for each new phone you lease. The card is issued by MetaBank member FDIC. Just register for the card online and you're good to go. That's right, $50 for each new phone you lease when you bring your number to Sprint. And when you get a new iPhone, you get an incredible new iPad for $99. Plus, a $100 prepaid MasterCard. And don't miss all the other great deals you'll find waiting for you. Visit a Sprint store this weekend
right
only
onto
for
Hitler Road.
sizzling Sprint Saturday deals. Cards require 60 days of service before card ships. iPad 6 Gen 32 GB $417 per month after $15 monthly credit for 24 months. Credit applied within 2 bills. Requires new line or qualifying plan. Can cancel early, remaining balance due. Taxes due at sale. Offer not
In
available.
2.2 miles, turn right onto Commerce Road.
Pro appreciate. 25% off Bear Pro Paint and Pro Extra offers. You'll find even more money-saving offers, special discounts, and added perks. This one,
Starting route to 23619 Caledonian Street.
the Pro Appreciation Index. Just
In 2.2 miles, turn left onto Old Orchard Trail.
more doable. Offer until March 18th or March 24th. See store for details.
She used to play hide and seek in your backyard. Now she's getting married in it. So when you see a bare spot, you need something that patches it fast. Pennington One Step Complete has a revolutionary formula that repairs bare spots in only 2 weeks or less. Pennington has been trusted since 1945, and now it works even faster. One Step Complete from Pennington. Honest green. Get your lawn ready for any occasion. Head to your local retailer to pick up One Step Complete.
Introducing GoTo by LogMeIn, the most comprehensive suite of solutions that help you meet, call, message, and more anytime, anywhere. GoTo is everything you'll ever need to collaborate and win together, brought together. That includes award-winning products like GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar, plus new innovations like GoToConnect, the first truly unified video and voice product, and GoToRoom, an all-in-one smart and simple room solution. GoTo brings the best of unified communications and collaboration software together so you can kick some business. Learn how at GoTo.com.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor.
In
Find the
1
right
mile,
fit for
turn
your
left onto
business.
in Stony. Kyle Bogey's in for Stony, who's in Vegas, looking for a chance of a snow shower on the second day of spring. Awesome. High of 40 degrees today. Michigan will play Florida tomorrow night at 5:15. They beat Montana last night, 74-55. And then they'll be followed up there by the Michigan State game. MSU taking on Minnesota at 7:45. Of course, Michigan State, a 76-65 winner over Bradley. We have Red Wing tickets to give away. We'll do that coming up in about 10 minutes. Tell you how to do that. But right now it's time for news with Heather Park.
Robert Kraft might have a more difficult time keeping those graphic surveillance videos under wraps than he thought. So apparently prosecutors are refusing to join in on the motion that he filed on Wednesday to protect
In 1.7 miles,
all the
turn
evidence
left
from
onto
being
Pontiac Trail.
So you're saying he will not have a happy ending?
Well, he might not. Yes.
That's a shame.
Why am I so weird? I desperately want the video to get out.
You might get your wish.
Paul Sarah's over there laughing. Don't act like you're not going to watch the video, okay? Everyone's going to watch it.
I
100%.
don't agree with you. I think people, they may say they want to, and they'll click on the link to it, and then as soon as he walks through the door, they're like, okay, I gotta turn it off. There's no way.
I can see it's so funny. It's not like it's going to be crystal clear HD video. It'll probably be, usually it's a darker, type of room. It'll probably be like, you won't be able to see everything, in detail, right?
I don't
Just
know
catch
about
the
that.
good stuff.
You don't think it's going to have the graphic quality of the Tommy Lee, Pamela honeymoon video? You don't think it's going to have that?
Or what, a night in Paris or anything like that? Yeah, no, I don't think so.
It's not going to be a two-camera shoot.
Don't act like you haven't watched it. Yeah, all angles.
A newly introduced bill could
They're so
lower.
disgusting. Sorry.
Could lower Michigan's drunk driving blood alcohol limit to 0.05. Obviously down from 0.08. And if this bill passes, Michigan would only be the second state to lower its drunk driving limit. So Utah has the 0.05.
I guess I'd have to read more as to what the justification is. Do they feel like they've had an increase in drunk driving?
There's not a whole lot in this article, but they do say that they believe critical driving skills are impaired at a blood alcohol limit of 0.05.
Really? I mean, look, I love the commercials that they were starting to run the last couple of years of buzz driving is drunk driving. I think those are very effective commercials because it's like, I'm okay.
I've only had a couple drinks. I'm not drunk. I'm fine.
Yeah. I just, with Uber and with Lyft in 2019, it should be the biggest no-brainer out.
But you can't really get in some little cities, you're not going to call an Uber to go up to your neighborhood bar.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, you're just not.
Going out to dinner, what? Can you sit down and have 2 beers or
a glass of wine?
At 0.05, what? You have one drink?
Me, you know, like it depends obviously on your size and how much alcohol affects you.
Yeah.
It'd be like me having probably a glass of wine and a half.
Seriously, you'd have to be so meticulous. One drink, that's it. You got that's it, and you.
What's wrong with meticulousness?
I'm just saying. I mean, my goodness, should restaurants even be selling alcohol at this point?
So Bogey wants to be able to drink and drive, but doesn't want coaches to yell at players. Okay, gotcha.
That's a Bogey plan right there.
Michael Jackson's reputation is being tarnished, and several platforms are pulling his music after the Leaving Neverland documentary.
You could argue that his reputation is not being tarnished, but it's being exposed.
Yes, exposed is a better word, maybe. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not one of them. He'll be keeping his place there, and he won't be removed because the Hall of Fame says music is music is music is music.
It's funny.
Did it really go on 5 times, or did you just go
I added the last 2.
It is funny though, because you don't really, necessarily think about it. The music. I mean, it's Michael Jackson. You hear the music. Songs are playing all the time. But I was at a charity event over the weekend, last weekend, and the DJ did have Michael Jackson still on the playlist. And I remember talking to people that night. I'm like, wow, should he delete that? Like, should he get rid of that? You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Whether Michael Jackson sounds different to you now. And it's funny because I almost texted you guys. The very next day I was at the gym, and on my Spotify playlist came up Man in the Mirror, which I think is one of his all-time great songs. And it was like,
I think you think about them differently, but I think if you just enjoy it for the music and what the music is.
Right.
The music is still good.
Right.
That's the thing. I mean, I hate R. Kelly, but like, I'm still gonna rap Ignition. Like, you know, it's my job. I can't. I'm sorry. It's the remix to Ignition. I gotta, you know, do what you gotta do.
I mean, Bogey still thinks Paterno's the greatest coach ever. So, I mean, it's just certain things, legacies live on.
Yes.
Football is football is football.
It's football. A disagreement over dog poop led to an altercation between two Virginia women, and it ended in an arrest. Okay, so it all started when one woman was driving down the street and she noticed the other woman walking her dog, and her dog happened to be pooping at that exact moment. So the driver actually stopped and she asked this other lady, "Hey, are you gonna pick that up?" The other lady just ignored her. So the driver actually pulled over, got out of the vehicle, and approached this other woman. And that's when things kind of got out of hand. Apparently, each woman was trying to record each other on their cell phones. And the dog walker then grabbed the other woman's cell phone out of her hands, slapped her on the back, and then drove away with the other lady's cell phone in her hand. The cops were called, and this dog walker ended up being arrested for robbery.
Well, that would be justified seeing as she stole the phone.
And
there is something though about dog poop that gets people really angry.
Fired up.
Seriously, I remember my old apartment complex several years ago. I was walking Macy, and I'm sure you guys know as you know dog owners, you have a deal when you go on a walk. You take one back, okay? Yeah. Like you need to just go once, and I don't have another one if you have to go twice.
Really? You don't have the little...
I take one.
Really?
Yes, and so Macy broke the deal when I was taking her on a walk.
No, I just keep... It doesn't matter. I just keep that little roll of...
No, I don't. That's too cumbersome. No.
No, it's you attach it to her leash.
I don't like it.
Well, I was walking by this woman's house, and of course she had nothing better to do during the day. This older woman, she was looking out the door wall, and Macy went again, and I didn't have a bag, so I had to leave it, of course, because I had to go get a bag and come out. And we start to walk away, and the woman like opens up the door wall, and she's like, "Are you gonna pick that up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, lady, like settle down. I got this, okay?"
Yeah.
Of course, I walked back, and I wanted to take it and throw it at the window, and just I was angry.
But why is this woman driving down the street? Was it her house? Like if I saw a random dog pooping on the side of the road, I'd be like, oh, whatever.
I just keep going by.
In 3.3 miles, turn left onto Northwestern Highway.
Oh, for sure. If it's a
why is this person? I mean, granted, she had her phone stolen, she got whacked on the back, so I'm not trying to say she's the problem, but I would be like, oh, dog's pooping. What are you gonna do?
Apparently, it's a very small town.
Very small town.
All right, so my time is already up.
No, go do it.
Thank goodness. Okay, so there's this new online craze that's going on, and it's called the Florida Man Challenge. Have you heard about this?
Oh.
Okay, so what you want to do this as I'm talking. Type in Florida Man and then your birth date. So, like mine is Florida Man, October 13th. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find a crazy story about something a Florida man did, and then you're supposed to post it on your social media. So apparently it's just based on the fact that so many stupid criminals are in Florida. So mine is a Florida man hides heroin, drugs, in 5-year-old shirt. That was what came up for my October 13th.
Florida man arrested for giving girlfriend wet willy. That sounds like it's her fault, not his.
Okay, this is all I get. Half-naked man walks goat in the rain. Welcome to Florida. That's all.
And then you're supposed to share it on social media. So apparently that's the new viral challenge.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
I can too.
Keeping us young.
Yes.
We're like
7:46. All right, thank you very much. Coming up next, we have Red Wing tickets to give away, and we're going to play Hot Potato. Bogey, have you ever played Hot Potato? Bogey's checked out. Thanks, Tony. If you'd like to play Hot Potato, call in now, 248-539-9797. That's 248-539-9797. First two contestants will play Hot Potato next on 97.1 The Ticket.
You guys, baseball season is just around the corner, and you can make every day opening day by ripping open a bag of delicious Cars Trail Mix. Cars is a major Motor City success story, born right here in Detroit in 1933, and now Cars Sweet and Salty Mix is America's best-selling branded trail mix. Sweet and Salty Mix is made with lightly roasted and salted peanuts, sweet raisins, crunchy sunflower kernels, and of course those little cocoa candies. Cars Sweet and Salty Trail Mix tastes fantastic, and it will satisfy your cravings while boosting your energy. So snack time just got better, way better with Cars Trail Mix, the perfect snack at the game, on the job, or on the go. Rip open the purple bag that says Cars, Detroit born 1933, the American Trail Mix. Cars products are available at the game of baseball, Cars Trail Mix is an American original. So make every day opening day with Cars Trail Mix. You'll love that Cars Trail Mix is nothing fancy, just delicious. Born in Detroit, loved in America, Cars Trail Mix has Detroit DNA in the bag.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. During Ram Truck Month, Chrysler employees can lease the 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 from Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for just $199 per month. Friends and family can $279 per month. See dealer for details. Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your Ram store and Telegraph just north of Square Lake. Around the Ypsilanti area, 94 East Frontenac, Michigan Avenue will run bypass an accident is still blocking the right lane. Traffic also brought to you by Kroger. Now you can save more at Kroger with 4 days of digital deals. Visit Kroger.com today and download coupons you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. But hurry, the 4 days of digital deals end Sunday, March 24th. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger. I'm Michelle Pena in the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
The Detroit Pistons play the Portland Trailblazers. Pre-game tomorrow night at 9:35 on 104.3 WOMC. This CBS Sports Minute is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Novi.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business at glassdoor.com/hire. The Mets have finally begun making amends for their inexcusably belated tribute to the most important player in franchise history. That would be Tom Seaver. While the 74-year-old Hall of Fame right-hander is still a living legend, sadly, he has been compromised by dementia. Yesterday, the Mets revealed that Citi Field will change its address from 123-01 Roosevelt Avenue to 41 Seaver Way. The change is pending approval by New York City. Meantime, although the team will not have a statue of Tom Woodruff ready to unveil this season, as was erroneously reported following the announcement of Seaver's diagnosis, the Mets will disclose what it will look like during the last weekend of June when they honor the 1969 squad. Seaver led to the World Series championship. I guess it's better late than never, I suppose. Boomer Esiason.
Some job recruitment sites overload your inbox with resumes. But Glassdoor only matches you with qualified job candidates, so you can find that perfect new hire in half the resumes. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business. Napa know-how.
This month at your local Napa Auto Care Center, when you get a premium oil change with a cabin air filter, you also get a $15 mail-in rebate, which means the pros do the job and you get paid. Wait, what? Get your premium oil change and a cabin air filter and save $15 at Napa Auto Care. Quality parts installed by the pros. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Care Centers, offer ends 4/30/19. At Farmers Insurance, we know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle, Ford Boot, drone. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
You have financial goals, and TCF Bank is here to help. That's why we made it easy to track your progress. So whether you're saving for this or this, you can make progress every day. Life takes planning, and we're here to help. Get started today with a TCF free checking and free savings account at tcfbank.com. No monthly fee for active free checking accounts with e-statements. No monthly fee or minimum balance for free savings. Other fees may apply. Member FDIC.
Hey, buddy. New phone?
Yeah, brand new.
You happy with your wireless company?
Very happy. I mean, with my plan, this phone was included.
My wireless company made it super easy to switch from my old carrier.
Well, I get unlimited talk, text, and data in Mexico and Canada.
Well, every Tuesday, I get discounts and gifts like movie tickets and tacos. And did I mention my phones were included?
Wait, your phones were included too? Who do you have?
T-Mobile.
Oh, me too.
The happiest customers in wireless are with T-Mobile. Join T-Mobile today and get 2 new lines of unlimited with 2 phones included for just $100 a month. That's right, 2 new lines with 2 phones included for just $100 a month. $90 for essentials plus $10 for select phones. Get 24 monthly bill credits with autopay for low qualified buyers during congestion. Customers may notice lower speeds and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs per month. International data at 2G plus taxes and fees. Qualifying credit finance agreement and service required. Revel 2 0 down plus $7 for 24 months. $168 before credit. 0% APR. Contact T-Mobile before canceling service or credit stop. Remaining balances due. See T-Mobile.com for offer details.
Once a year pool and spa clearance going on now at Allstate Home Leisure. Save thousands on brand new floor models, demos, and red tags at the Livonia store only. Jacuzzi hot tubs and swim spas up to 50% off. The best time to buy a pool or spa is now.
97 won the tickets. That's right, we're playing for Red Wing tickets. Wings Bruins next Sunday. That's a week from Sunday, March 31st. Thank you, Stoney. At Little Caesars Arena. For tickets, visit DetroitRedWings.com. All right, for those of you first-timers, Bogey, the game is played like this. We give you a list of topics, and you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until somebody gets an answer wrong, an answer is repeated, or somebody fails to come up with an answer. And whoever wins 2 games first will win the tickets. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're playing best 2 out of 3.
I'm just pretty much going to be singing the song silently in my head throughout this. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
All right, on line 1, we have Adam from beautiful Chelsea, Michigan, home of Jeff Daniels. Hello, Adam.
How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Fantastic.
All right, and you're going up against John in Livonia. Hey, John, what's going on?
Morning, fellas.
Morning to you. How's everything? Good?
Good. Got Bogey Ramblewood Street.
Oh, Ramblewood, yeah, right around the corner from my parents. Absolutely.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs.
Good
Bogey.
times.
All right. All right, here's the way it works. We're going to give you guys 3 lists. Whoever gets, back and forth until an answer is repeated or somebody gets one wrong. Adam, you get to go first on the first list. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right. These are teams who made the NCAA tournament this year. They could have lost yesterday or in the play-in games, but these are the 68 teams who comprise the tournament field. Adam, go.
You.
John.
Michigan State.
Adam.
Gonzaga.
John.
Michigan.
Adam.
Purdue.
John.
North Carolina.
Adam.
Belmont.
Nice. John.
Prairie.
I guess we'll give it to you. Adam.
Syracuse.
John.
Purdue.
Purdue is already said. That's a repeat answer, Bogey. It's tough. Yeah. So that was John who said Purdue? Correct. Yeah. Okay, so Adam gets the first
Turn
game.
left onto West
He
13
leads
Mile Road.
1 game to 0. All right, now, Bogey, this is where you say, okay, our next category is...
Red Wing goalies since the 1999-2000 season.
Ooh.
Okay, and we're starting with Adam.
No, with John.
Oh, with John.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
John
I'm
gets to
sorry.
go first at least
I'm just
once.
going to call you Ramblewood, okay, John? All right, perfect. Okay, Red Wings goalies since the 1999-2000 season. Go.
Jimmy.
Adam.
Mike Vernon.
All right, John gets that one.
That was quick.
Well, hey, listen, that's what happens. Verney was traded in the summer of '97. So then it comes down to the last game. Whoever wins this wins the tickets. This one's for all the marbles. Or as Brett Musburger likes to say, this one's for all the Tostitos. Adam, you get to go first. North American countries. North American countries. And just for the record, North America does include Central America. Adam, you get to go first. Go.
United States of America.
Incorrect. No, that is it. I'm sorry. John.
Brazil.
All right. Congratulations, Adam. You have won the ticket. Sorry, John. Brazil's in South America. It's crazy how that works. Adam, in Chelsea. Good job, buddy.
Good.
All right, hang on the line. We'll give you back to Paul Sarah, our producer. Adam from Chelsea just won a pair of tickets to see the Red Wings take on the Boston Bruins Sunday, March 31st at the LCA. For tickets, visit DetroitRedWings.com.
I was hoping the Livonia guy was going to pull it off, but John just made us all Livonia people look stupid.
But wait, no.
I'm kidding. That was a good effort. Yeah.
Sure. Brazil's commonly known as a North American country. So I mentioned, by the way, when we were talking about Tom Izzo, that I took a picture, a screenshot from like 5 years ago. It was actually 4.5 years ago of Izzo getting into the Facebook group Forbes. And I said,
Stay
this
in the
photo's
left
from
lane.
2014. The outrage over yesterday's episode is because it was caught on camera. This happens all the time. And a lot of
Turn
people
left onto
have,
West 13 Mile
jumped
Road.
on this. And it's weird. A lot of Michigan fans. It's funny how that works. There's a lot of Michigan fans who think that Izzo crossed the line yesterday.
See, I don't know that he crossed the line. I just don't think it's a good look to have your players basically restraining yourself. Now, to Gov's point, we talked about it, throughout the show. No, I don't think he was going to hit anyone. I don't think he was going to, attack Aaron Henry, but it's not a good look when you're the coach. You're the guy who's supposed to be composed and in charge, and I think instilling confidence in these kids, and your senior leaders are like, keeping you sitting down and getting your finger out of this, young man's face. I think that's a bit much, and, look, Izzo's trying to win a second national championship. He's trying to get it done. He's trying to go on this run. You're not going to get the talent you need, I think, to be able to do that when things like this happen, because most kids are not going to respond to this stuff. They're not.
Turn onto Northwestern Highway.
I don't know, Bogey. The dude's been to a lot of Final Fours. He's won a national title, and we all agree that a lot of the NCAA tournament, the success of the NCAA tournament, is about luck and matchups. And is it Duke? No, Michigan State's not Duke. I don't think anybody's ever confused them with Duke. I think we're taking it a step too far.
Use the right two lanes to take a slight right turn onto Northwestern Highway.
Funny how all the defenders are Spartan fans and media. After all, it happens all the time. So basically, if you're not a Michigan State fan, I'm assuming you're a Michigan fan, so that would, by process of elimination, say the people attacking him are Michigan fans. Somebody else says, if Harbaugh does this, he's a deranged lunatic who needs to be stopped. It's going to take a coach pushing the wrong player this way and the player knocking the coach into the bleachers. I don't think it's a big deal personally, but think it's unnecessary after
2.4 miles. Continue on to Michigan 10
The
South.
timing of it was also a little bit bizarre, but think about a few years ago. Was it Tommy Reese, quarterback for Notre Dame, and Brian Kelly on the sideline when he was just, his face was all red and he was right in his face and like spitting on him and all that. Brian Kelly's changed the way that he's gone about it. Again, when you get caught on camera, and I think you made a good point that because it was spotlighted by CBS, that's probably what made it a big deal.
2 miles. Continue on to Michigan
You
10
felt
South.
bad for Tommy Reese in that sense. And Tommy Reese was never the same quarterback after dealing with Brian Kelly in the way that he went about it. You're supposed to instill confidence, not just demean to demean.
Do you remember Mike Montgomery, the coach for many years at Stanford, and he coached at the NBA?
He coached at Golden State, didn't he?
Yeah, he left Stanford, went to the Golden State Warriors, got fired there. Coached at Montana, but then he went back and he coached at Cal Berkeley after the Golden State Warriors. And there was a player, Alan Crabb, who now plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and he two-handed shoved him, and it was like he was trying to make a point. He's basically saying, dude, wake up, we need you, and he went like that. Mike Montgomery's never had a reputation of, he's a pretty laid-back coach if you watch film of him at Stanford, etc. But that, that got national pub, and he was, I believe, suspended for one game, either by Cal or by the Pac-12 or something like that. But I think Alan Crabb's father came out in defense of Mike Montgomery. Now, I think that does cross the line. You're putting your hand on a player, even if it's kind of meant like, hey, come on, let's go. It wasn't like a shove in a malicious intent. It was more like,
wake the F up. Yeah,
exactly. But, I just think, again, every coach in America, there is a tape that, if it existed, would paint them in a bad light because that's how they coach. 801, we'll get more into that. Take your phone calls, 248-539-9797. 97 won the tickets.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station from the Planet Fitness Studio. Sports headlines all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Kroger. Charles Matthews and Iggy Brastakis combined to score 36 points. They lead Michigan to a 74-55 win over Montana last night at the NCAA tournament. The Wolverines now take on Florida in round 2. Coverage of that game begins tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 over on AM 950. Michigan State would need a late second-half run to knock off Bradley 76-65 in round 1 of the East Regional. During the game, cameras caught head coach Tom Izzo being restrained by his players after getting into the face of freshman forward Aaron Henry during a timeout. Afterwards, Izzo kind of bristled at reporters who wondered why Henry drew his ire.
I get a kick out of you guys. Get after somebody because you're trying to hold them accountable. I don't know what kind of business you're in.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
If I was the head of a newspaper, you didn't do your job, you'd be held accountable. That's the way it is.
Next up for Michigan State, they'll face Minnesota tomorrow night. That game takes place following the Michigan-Florida contest. Tip-off scheduled for 7:45 on CBS 62. As you would expect, there were some upsets in round 1 yesterday. 10th-seeded Minnesota shocks Louisville 86-76. 12th players reportedly decide to retire.
Use the right lane to take exit 18B onto US 24 South and Telegraph
From the
Road.
Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, go to 97ontheticket.com.
Jamie and Stoney. 97.1 The Ticket.
Good Friday mornings, Jamie and Stoney show on 97.1 The Ticket. Stoney is in Las Vegas. I think he's probably asleep right now. I would assume so. He loves talking about when he goes to Las Vegas, betting on those overnight Australian horse races that the sports books will show. You know the real degenerates, if you wander into the sports book at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning,
12 miles,
they're watching
keep right
horse
onto North
racing
Telegraph Road.
Sydney or something like that. And he says he always enjoys doing that. So there's a chance he is still awake, tracking this stuff in Las Vegas, but I don't know for sure.
I'm gonna actually have to go to a casino.
You've never been to a casino?
Never been to a casino.
Try it out. It's fantastic. Good people.
Like, how have you never been to a casino?
I'm just never interested. I'm sorry.
I mean, but not for an event, for
Going to a restaurant or meeting somebody. I did take my wife to a concert at a casino.
When did you walk through the casino floor?
No. Oh, just went right
Avoiding
into the
like the
entrance.
plague.
Pretty much.
You
Yes.
never been to Vegas?
No, never been to Vegas. It's on my bucket list of things to do. Vegas.
Okay.
Make it happen.
I am.
Okay. Make it happen. Bet on Australian horse racing at 3 in the morning.
I'll call you guys at 3 in the morning. Hey.
Perfect.
Don't forget Mike Valeni broadcasting live from Las Vegas as well from the D in Las Vegas today from 2 until 6, right after the Carson Anderson show. This Izzo thing is really unbelievable. I gotta say, I understand both sides of this argument. I disagree with the people who think it's a real issue, but I just feel like we could have picked any moment of Tom Izzo's career and captured it, and if it happened to have been caught on film, it would turn into this, like I said, tempest in a teapot. I mean, really, it's how he has behaved his entire career. His entire career, this is what Tom Izzo has done. And he has been sometimes the hardest on his very best players. And his belief is that he gets the best out of them when he needs to, and he's been proven right a lot of times. Now, recently, though, he hasn't been proven right. Well, define that for me.
Like, well, I mean, as far as early NCAA tournament exits, it has been a while since they've been really relevant from that standpoint.
They went to a Final Four 4 years ago.
4 years ago, yep.
That's not exactly an eternity when you look at other programs.
I think you have to throw out the Middle Tennessee State year because I think it's happened to every big program at some point. You just get NCAA tournament.
I agree with that completely. And that was the first time it ever happened to him.
Yep.
George Mason, yes, it happened to him. George Mason went to the Final Four.
Yeah, and they were 6 seed.
Yeah.
You know, every big program. Duke had its
Lehigh.
Yeah, I mean that was out in Boise or
Didn't
something.
they lose to Mercer 1 year or 2?
Yes.
Yes,
Duke lost twice.
15 over 2, I believe, yeah.
So I'm with you, but I mean, like I said, I tweeted out this picture of Izzo from 2014 up in the face of Bryn Forbes to illustrate this is kind of what he does. Bryn Forbes, by the way, is in the NBA. I'm not sure if anyone knew that. And nobody thought Bryn Forbes was going to the NBA.
Oh, I did. No, I remember doing an overnight show. Nobody heard it, but I thought he was going to be a tremendous player.
I thought he was really going to pay off when he hit 27.
I hate you.
Here's why I defend Izzo. Probably more than anything. Number one, I morally align. Number two, I think everybody needs their butt chewed out at some point in life. And I think the magic of it is that you can't pick when it happens because it needs to happen organically. And I think that's what happened yesterday. And I think he came real close to crossing the line. Do not believe in any physical touch. Don't believe in name calling. And he didn't do either.
Now, like somebody who texts the show tweets at me all the time, this guy named Whitmer, and he doesn't like it. Granted, I will say that Whitmer's avatar is the team, but that's neither here nor there. But he goes, would you want your kid playing for Tom Izzo? And I can say definitively I would.
Yes.
Because I love the love that exists in that program. I love when they show a game on a Saturday afternoon and it's like the All-Star weekend. And boy, Gary Harris is in East Lansing. And Draymond Green, who used to not always be an All-Star, is in East Lansing. And these kids come back because it means they're loyal to the program, they're loyal to the team, and they follow the program with a religiousness. The first boss I ever had in this industry, I love. He could be really hard on me. Not hard as in like Izzo hard, but I mean, hit you. He never hit me. He never struck me. But no, he would tell it like it is, and it helped me. And I think about some of the things he told me to this day. I honestly do. And I appreciate him for it. I was pissed at the time, but it really did help me. Everybody needs it.
I do. I have those same things in my background that motivate me, and I certainly made mistakes or did things wrong. And I also believe that resetting what we were saying earlier about it, that this was just a fundamental thing against the Izzo way. Like this could possibly be the number one not getting back on defense. I think that just is so unacceptable for me. And that's why I say,
Look, is it possible for me, like if I ever have kids, and forbid, knows when that could happen, but if I ever have kids, I would absolutely send my kid to play for a coach like Thomas. I want that discipline, that toughness instilled.
And to be fair, and for John Beeline too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Different ways of doing it, but love the end result.
100%. Okay. At the same time, I think in that specific instance, I didn't think it was that necessary to go to that length with a freshman and put him in. Like, you could literally see Aaron Henry crawl into a little bit of a shell. And to Izzo's point, and he said it in the press conference after, at the end of the game, down the stretch, he did it. Yeah, absolutely. And it ended up working out. I've never operated, I coached basketball when I was younger, right after high school, just some, kids. But I never operated in the, I'm just going to, kill you and crush you, to get something out of you. I'm going to instill confidence. I'm going to let you know what you're doing wrong, but I'm also going to, leave the tea leaves out there so that you have something to be encouraged by as well. I think that's important.
And I also think it's very fortunate for Tom, not you, Izzo, that Michigan State won that basketball game. Because if they had lost the game and Aaron Henry had gone in a shell, which he did, he had two kind of sloppy turnovers, he also missed them. I think that your overall point would have had a lot more merit, because you get to different kids different ways. That ain't Cassius Winston, that's Aaron Henry. And if Henry, puts to bed based on how Izzo got after him, you'd say, Tom, you're in the most crucial game of the year, a one-and-done situation. You have a player that you need on the floor, and you mismanaged that player and how you got to him up here, then that's your fault. That's on you. So the fact that Henry responded in a way justifies it. But if Henry had been a reason why they lost, and he was a reason why they were losing for a lot of that game, then the conversation this morning would have been much different.
I don't want to make it a Beeline Izzo thing either, because it always turns into Michigan State and becomes this, ridiculous, argument. But John Beeline, when something's going wrong, you see him on the sideline and he's pulling a player over and he's got his arm around him, like, his hand basically on the kid's waist and, explaining what's going on and what you got to do. For me, I believe that method works way better at this point than what Izzo did yesterday.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 100%. And he doesn't curse. He needs to be restrained from referees. He doesn't need to be restrained from his players.
One time.
I'm just saying.
Look who saved the day. I thought it was the McQuaid.
Oh, well, yeah, but
the guy who has been absolutely torn apart for 3 years.
Because Izzo destroyed him for 3 years. He crushed the kid.
When you were in a
long play
in the Big Ten tournament, though, McQuaid, when the injury happened, you could see it in his face in that huddle while they were around arms that he was ready to go. And that's because of what he's done. So they do it to Henry now, so that Henry's like McQuaid next year or the year after.
Or the year after that.
For all the people that don't like tanking, Izzo is way ahead of the curve. He's been tanking the last 3 years with Matt McQuaid, and all of a sudden, right there, ready to go.
Let's go to Malone in Detroit on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Malone.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. You know what? I don't have a problem with Izzo. I like Izzo. I don't have a problem with getting guys face. The finger call, that was disrespectful. And then I also heard a guy compare Tom Brady, who guys in this situation. The difference is Tom Brady is holding paid professional athletes accountable. Tom Brady has hardware to back up his talk. And then another point is the situation that occurred yesterday. Izzo comes across like he's throwing a guy under the bus. Or was it just me?
So I don't know that I necessarily got that. I just think he just crushed the kid. And I think it killed his confidence immediately.
If there was a YouTube channel that focused on Tom Izzo for the entire game, and that's all you could watch was Tom Izzo the entire game,
live stream,
I would watch that.
It'd be great.
I'd probably watch the Stoney can first, but I would definitely watch Izzo can.
Isn't there a difference? Watch Stoney spill a Coke all over my
just watch him
Pistons game or something, yeah.
But Izzo, at every time out, you can see him. And it's and it's a different target every time. He is, I mean, by the way, raise your hand if you knew who the white kid was who came in that game in the first half. When he came on the floor, I was like, who is that guy? I had no idea. And I've watched most of the Michigan State. If Evan Jenkins knows who that guy is, understand. I mean, seriously, who is that kid? But he treats every. I mean,
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Opportunity ripper. You know, it's not like he's got his. Well, he won't touch Cassius, but he'll go after Nick Ward. No, he'll go after everyone.
I just want to respond. He made because I'm the one that made the Izzo Brady comparison.
Yeah.
Tom Izzo has heart. If you really cherish Final Fours, he has a lot of heart.
Yeah, he's got a ring. He's won it all.
I would say too, there's a difference between I think teammates holding each other accountable and a guy like Tom Brady being the leader and
Brady's
addressing guys.
Brady's the coach, basically. It's like like Draymond was with Izzo.
Yes, but it is a different relationship, though. You know, I think it comes off differently when a coach is getting on you as opposed to when a teammate is getting on you. You know, isn't there a different level to it?
And there's also a college maturity aspect here in the whole 9 yards. I mean, I don't know. I'll say it again. I think at some point in your life, if you haven't had your butt chewed out, you don't have the right people.
That's great. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. The ticket text is 97136. Jamie and Stoney with Bogey in for Stoney. 97.1 the tickets.
97.1 the ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. If you enjoy a great workout and seeing a bit of Michigan, Two Men and a Truck is hiring for mover and driver positions. Career advancement opportunities are also available. Two Men and a Truck believes in a promote from within philosophy. Apply today at twomenandatruck.com and click on careers. One accident reported on your drive this morning out in Ann Arbor, 94 westbound, right before State Street. It's blocking the left lane and shoulder. Traffic also brought to you by First State Bank Business Solutions. First State Bank offers solutions that improve the way you do business. For over 100 years, they've been proud to call this community home. And First State Bank is committed to helping businesses in and around our community. Ready to take your business to the next level? Visit fsb.bank/allin to get started. Member FDIC. I'm Michelle Penny on the WWJ 24-hour Traffic Center.
Caution, Anderson middays. Still Caution Anderson coming up later today on the show. 10:30. What's next for Michigan and Michigan State? And at 11:35, would you let this ever happen at your house or sporting event? Caution, Anderson middays. 97.1 the ticket. I'm guessing most of you out there are like me. You work hard for your money. We all enjoy saving a little of the green when we can. So here's a tip. The annual Green Tag Sales Event is on now at Taylor Chevrolet. Look for Green Tag and Save. Taylor Chevy will shock you when you see how affordable Chevy cars and trucks are during this once-a-year Green Tag event. Plus, get 0% financing for 72 months for well-qualified buyers. 2019 Chevy Trax is only $94 a month. Or drive the 2019 Equinox. I have an Equinox, love it. It's just $189 a month at Taylor Chevrolet. March is truck month at Taylor Chevy. Take advantage of extra savings on the Silverado, the official truck of hard work. The 4x4 extended cab is just $249 a month. Get easy financing at TaylorChevy.com. Great people there, great service department as well. Other dealers may have said no to your credit, but Taylor Chevrolet says yes to all applications and will work hard to get you financed. The Green Tag event expires April 1st, so hurry in now for the best selection. See green, save green at Taylor Chevrolet on Telegraph Road north of Eureka.
24 Seconds Bar and Grill in Berkeley is the place to be for everything sports. The madness is happening now with great drink specials during all the Michigan and Michigan State games. Reserve your seat for the opening day shuttle April 4th. And Founders KBS is now on tap. 24 Seconds in Berkeley, where the food is great, service is great, and parking is free. 24secondsbar.com.
Improve visibility in your vehicle when you replace your worn wiper blades with a pair of Trico Typhoon wiper blades. Plus, you'll get a $15 O'Reilly gift card. Don't risk your safety because of poor visibility. Get premium blades at guaranteed low prices. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
Wow, waiting at the DMV is the best. I mean, has it only been 2 hours? I think the air conditioner stopped working. Sweet.
When you try one of the new chai beverages at Tim Hortons, anywhere can feel like a sweet escape. Like the creamy vanilla chai latte, spiced with cinnamon and vanilla. Or indulge in a chai white hot chocolate or a cool creamy chai chip.
Yes.
Center sells and services industrial air compressors and systems for businesses that need to run strong. Air Center sells Kaiser, the most reliable air compressors in the world. If you need a new air compressor or are in need of service, call Air Center at 800-AIR-2959 or visit teamaircenter.com. Air Center and Kaiser, run strong.
It's a great time to head to Kroger and save on your essentials at the Buy 5, Save 5 event. Just choose from a huge selection of participating items. And when you buy any 5, you'll save $5 instantly at checkout with card. You'll find hot deals on select varieties of Doritos, General Mills cereal, Swiffer wet cloths, Tide detergent, and more. Just visit Kroger.com or the app for details. The Buy 5, Save 5 event is happening now. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
Hey, Hoop fans, get ready for your game day get-togethers at the Kroger 4-Day Sale. Just visit Kroger.com or the app today and download coupons you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Then go to Kroger Thursday through Sunday for slam dunk deals, like select 24 packs of refreshing Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. They're just $4.77 with your Plus card. The 4-Day Sale will have you cheering right down to the buzzer. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
Here's a deal from Sprint that you won't want to miss. Right now, when you switch to Sprint, we'll give you $50 on a prepaid MasterCard for each new phone you lease. The card is issued by MetaBank, member FDIC. Just register for the card online and you're good to go. That's right, $50 for each new phone you lease when you bring your number to Sprint. And when you get a new iPhone, you get an incredible new iPad for $99. Plus, a $100 prepaid MasterCard. And don't miss all the other great deals you'll find waiting for you. Visit a Sprint store this weekend only for sizzling Sprint Saturday deals. Cards require 60 days of service before card ships. iPad 6 Gen 32 GB, $417 per month after $15 monthly credit for 2020. Credit applied within 2 bills. Requires Beeline on qualifying plans. You can cancel early, remaining balance due. Taxes due at 6. Offer not available everywhere, subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Restrictions apply.
Former Detroit Red Wing and Stanley Cup champion Chris Osgood, both strong, advanced, and legendary. The Detroit Red Wings and the all-new 2019 Silverado and 97 Win the Ticket is giving away tickets for an upcoming home game brought to you by Chevrolet, official vehicle of the Detroit Red Wings.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 D Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today. Listen to us anytime, anywhere.
I get a kick out of you guys. Get after somebody because you're trying to hold them accountable. I don't know what kind of business you're in, but I'll tell you what.
Keep right onto North Telegraph Road.
You didn't do your job. You be held accountable. That's where it is.
Tom Izzo, that audio courtesy of NCAA. Speaking of the NCAA, our own Will Birchfield, who covers all sports for 97
In 4.8 miles, turn left onto Hillsborough Street.
Games 1 plural, and will be there tomorrow. He's going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock, get his take on what he saw, what he talked about, and he was obviously in the locker room for both games, but that Michigan State game is more notable given what happened here. Michigan kind of TCB took care of business.
Yeah, and honestly, it's amazing that Birchie's going to join us because I believe the last photo he took was like just past 3 a.m. as he was leaving the arena. So I think he had a late night of work getting things done last night.
I prefaced this. Hey, listen, I totally understand if you don't want to. If the Bud Lights are flowing post game, you want to sleep in, I totally understand.
There isn't time though. At 9:20 tip, there's no time. You got to write after. You got to get things done. Mojo takes hours to write his time. It was really a 9:50. Yeah, well, actually that's true. Yeah, it was much later. Which is very late.
Oh yeah, you brought up Jaren Jackson, and he did tweet last night. Jaren Jackson at 10:57 p.m. You gotta want to be pushed from a coach to bring out everything you can do. It'll only help. Now, I don't know what he was tweeting. He did tweet.
Well, it's funny because he didn't respond to any of it last year. So, although I guess he wasn't really given a chance because Ben Carter was out there against Syracuse.
Yeah, somebody did tweet. It worked for Ben Carter at Jaren Jackson Jr. Ben Carter.
It'll go on forever.
Oh, it will. Yeah, seriously, it's like we'll remember that name in 15 years.
It'll never get old.
Some ticket text 97136. Coach K's never yelled at a kid in the This is exactly why he does well with teams like this and with four-year players. It doesn't work, as we saw last year with all-stars from Anthony. Well, we know Miles Bridges swears by Tom Izzo, and obviously Jaren Jackson supports him as well. But, there's a topic we were going to do, and maybe we can do it next week. And I don't know if I presented this theory to you, but...
Am I coming back next week?
No.
Oh,
Who would win a game between this year's Michigan State team and last year's Michigan State team? Understanding that, Cassius Winston and Nick Ward and Xavier Tillman play on both teams. But, of course, the natural assumption say last year's team, because they had Miles Bridges and Jaren Jackson. Well, of course, you'd pick last year's team, but this year's team is playing like more of a team. Then again, let's see what happens tomorrow, because if they lose tomorrow, they will both accomplish the exact same thing.
So much more mentally and physically tougher.
Seems last year's team.
Seems like 100%. Yeah.
But there's also, and again, maybe this is a little bit of the Izzo, he's not a perfect coach. He loves his boy Tum Tum, and this team is better off with Cassius playing for him.
Yeah. That's one of the big revelations from last year. Winston should have been playing nearly this many minutes last year.
Yeah.
I think the season would have been quite different.
Maybe his confidence was down because Izzo was just in his face all the time.
Don't you love on Twitter when something starts and it starts to become a Twitter war between two people and you're no longer part of it, but because
I hate that.
And now I'm on both sides of people went back and forth at each other about Tom Izzo. It's like, hey, guys, leave me out of this, okay?
I just tweeted a photo.
I just started it. I'm the instigator, okay? Let's go to KD on a cell phone, 97.1 to take it. Hello, KD. I'm good, KD. How are you?
Good. How's it been a while? It's been a while. The question was quite a key quick point. Does Stoney take his leg under the counter like Stoney does while he's doing this shoot?
No.
Well, that's good. Keep the place so calm.
Bogey has a lot of non-Stoney tendencies. It's really remarkable. And he's correct.
Everybody has a lot of non-Stoney.
This, by the way, is this.
Has a lot of non-Stoney tendencies.
I just want to defend real quick. This is KD, who lived with Stoney for many years.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm still waiting for the book. But
took 20 years off your life.
Somebody who has a clear cause and right to rip on Stoney, it's KD. But go ahead.
Thank you. 2 points. Number one, nobody, like our big docket said, is in their huddle and is in their locker room that truly knows the dynamic between the coach and the player. So they know what's going on. Like you said, if it wasn't caught on camera, it's massive. I'm sure he does a lot more of what we saw last night. And number two, every player knows what they're signing up for and why they play for Izzo. They want to be a better player, and he's going to make them a better player.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
3 years, 6 foot, or 4 or 1, whether it's a Draymond. McClain wouldn't be the player that he is now if it wasn't for Izzo, and neither with Cassius, and neither with Dick Wall. So, I mean, they all are they want to win a championship. They know that Izzo will scream at them, sure, but he'll also, like you say, call him up, see how he's doing, how's their home life, how their classes. He cares about them like they're his own kids, and they're all going to be better for it, and possibly win a championship. And number 3, the Athletic had a great piece the other day that talked about that dynamic between Izzo and the players in the huddle. When Izzo yells at the players, sometimes the players yell back at him. And it's like, when it's done, then it's done, and they move on. And what happened? You saw, if Henry was really affected by that, he would not have made those 2 free throws in the game. Aside from the other players. He was poised, he was confident, and he got to something done. And look what happened. They beat him by 11 points. They're on the brink of elimination. It's one and done. Don't leave him on the ground the first weekend again. And he knows what to say. Was it his best moment out there? No. But, that's what he does to get everything out of the player. And if you can, the other soundbite from his presser yesterday talked about
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
They had it the first half. How they turned it around in the second half. And there's a hilarious comment about, 3 times to the boys that were being out rebounded by a smaller team. Guys, I wish you could really go out there and play a little.
That's what he does.
It was great. It was really great.
All right, thanks, KD. Good hearing from you. Have a great weekend. Michigan State out-rebounded them 23-7 in the second half.
I know they complain about
Message received.
rebounding team. You know who you rebound a team? You shoot better than they do. Bradley shot better in the first half, and that's why they out-rebounded them 19-12 in the first half. You can rebound your own end much more effectively than you can rebound on the offensive end. So if the other team is missing shots, you can collect those rebounds.
That's a fair point, but you would also argue that you're probably playing better defense because you're challenging the shots a little bit better, so therefore you have more opportunities to rebound. So the rebound stat could also be indicative of how well your team is playing defensively. But Michigan State did have a lot more, offensive rebounds in the second half. It got a little bit scrappy, and I felt like Michigan State was the scrappier team for sure.
And honestly, Michigan State probably needed a little bit of a wake-up call. I mean, you and I should have been all over this, that Michigan State would have a little bit of a letdown there in the first half, that they would be maybe tired with the short window between games and the long, conference tournament that they had. It almost should have been expected that they would struggle a little bit, and Bradley would come out and be the more energetic team, the quicker team. They responded, and in the second half, that's really all you can expect. You just wanted to be able to survive what Bradley was throwing at you, move on, and I swear, Michigan State by 30 tomorrow against Minnesota. I think message received, they're ready to go now, and they're absolutely getting out of this.
Up next, Heather has news. Jamie and Stoney, the great Kyle Bogian from Michael Stone on 97.1 The Ticket.
Join Wilson Marine this Saturday for the Wixom Grand Opening Party and Boat Show. Tour the all-new state-of-the-art facility and look at all the new boats. Plus, special grand opening sale pricing on all boats and boating accessories to get you on the water. Visit wilsonboats.com for more information.
Turn right onto Fillmore Street. Then turn right onto
Rich,
Calvine
I can't believe how much money people save when they qualify for employee pricing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. People save thousands of dollars. Knowing you're getting the best deal possible sure makes people happy.
But I feel really bad for the customers that don't get employee pricing.
I've got a great idea. Let's give employee pricing to everyone. Lower payments, save thousands. That makes my job easy.
And a happier, more enjoyable buying experience for all of our customers. It's our best idea ever. I can't wait to tell everyone.
Turn right onto Calvine Street.
That's okay.
Then the destination is on your right.
Get you approved, and you still qualify for the employee pricing.
Employee pricing for everyone, every day at Lalonde Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep brand.
So, if you want to shop all over Michigan, that's your business. But if you want the employee pricing, come see me, Rich.
And me, Tanya.
Today, during the spring sales event.
At the all-new Lalonde Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on M53 in beautiful Inlay City, Michigan.
Call 810-724-0444 or click LalandeChrysler.com.
Harvey Freed and James Lux for the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show, heard every Saturday morning from 9 to 10.
That's right, Harvey. We're bringing the